Find the critical numbers of f of w is w squared plus 2w plus 1 divided by 3w minus 5. So here we have a rational function, and we should immediately be able to determine that the domain has a restriction, right? The domain is not all real numbers. In particular, the denominator cannot equal 0. So for our domain, we should probably write something like set of numbers w such that w is not equal to 5/3. So what that tells me is 5/3 cannot be a critical number of f. 5/3 cannot be critical because it is not in the domain of the function. All right, let's calculate the derivative. F prime of w. Here I'm just going to use the quotient rule. So that would be 2w plus 2 by 3w minus 5 minus w squared plus 2w plus 1 by 3, all divided by 3w minus 5 squared. Simplifying, that would be 6w squared minus 10w plus 6w minus 4w minus 10 minus 3w squared minus 6w minus 3 divided by 3w minus 5 squared. And so then that simplifies further as 3w squared minus 10w minus 13 over 3w minus 5 squared. All right, so after some simplifications, there is the derivative, f prime of w. So now let's identify the critical numbers. Where can f prime of w equal 0? Where can the derivative equal 0? Well, I have a rational function, and so a rational function can equal 0 if the numerator is equal to 0, and where the denominator is not 0. So let's set the numerator equal to 0. 3w squared minus 10w minus 13 is equal to 0. Let's see, does that factor? I think it does. 3w and a w. And let's put the 13 here. That would give me a 13w, and a 1 here. That would give me a 3w. So it does factor because I have to have different signs. Now I just have to fix the signs. I think we need a negative here and a positive here. That would give me a negative 13w and a plus 3w, which gives me the negative 10w. Equals 0, so w equals 13/3. W equals negative 1. All right, now, where would f prime of w be undefined? Well, f prime of w would be undefined if the denominator is equal to 0. So that would occur when 3w minus 5 equals 0, which is again w equals 5/3. However, as we recall, w equals 5/3, that's not in the domain of the function. So w equals 5/3 is not a critical number. It is not in the domain of the function. So 5/3 is not critical. So there are two critical numbers for the function. So critical numbers of f of w are w equals, I'm just going to put them in numerical order here, negative 1 and 13/3.